I am here to tell you about the Thrifty Notion September fabric collection. These fabrics will go live this Friday, tomorrow, at 10 a.m. Central Time on thriftynotion.com. They'll be right there on the front page. This is our September collection. These are things we've curated to kind of help get ready for spooky season. We will also be releasing a Halloween collection later in the month, and all of these things are perfect for costuming, but the regular September collection, which is these lovely fabrics, are also a little more geared toward regular clothing. So let's get started. All right, first up, this fabric will be gone the first day, just letting you know. In case you want it, you'll have to be fast. Look at this incredible vintage rayon. This is Morticia Peterson fabric. This just one little piece of rayon, this amazing jellyfish print. Very fluid and floaty. It is only 36 inches wide because it is vintage. Great for blouses, and that's probably all you can get out of it. It's just this one small piece. So make the best blouse ever. With it being spooky season, we have an awful lot of black. So this one is called Climbing Jacquard. This one might actually be printed on. It's a faux jacquard. It is not woven in. It's just printed on there. So it's a black on black, and it's kind of this leafy vine swirly pattern in this polyester. It's a polyester satin. So it's very slippery. It's great for linings and blouses and dresses and all kinds of fancy stuff that you need slippery, shiny fabric for. We have a couple pieces of silk this month. This one's called Goblet. It's just a nice golden Shentong, which means it's a little stiffer. Good for things like blouses, crop tops, skirts. Just has a little more fullness, more body to it, so it'll do things like puff sleeves really nicely if you're doing a blouse. Then we have one that's a little bit more like a chiffon. Oops, it's got a little clip in it. We call this one Morticia because I envision a very glamorous, swishy gathered cuff, you know, the kind of cuff on a blouse that covers your hand. Very dramatic, maybe an interesting high neckline or something very scooped, depending on the look you're going for. This one is sheer and just really, really pretty, and I just want it to be a blouse. So if you could go ahead and make that happen and send pictures, I would really appreciate it. All right, these are a couple of faux Shentong silks, not silk. They look like silk. We did not call them silk because that gets very confusing. It's not silk. Silk is the fiber that things are made of. These are not that. These are synthetic, but they are meant to look like silk. So they have that slubby texture of a Shentong. This one's called Raspberry Jam. Again, holds body really well. It's not super fluid. So blouses, dresses, things like that. And the same thing for this one. It does have some little squares woven into it. Called it Gold Ingot. This one's a little bit heavier. Still, you could do blouses, dresses, that kind of thing, but also home dec would work with this one as well. Next up, a couple of satins. This one's called Royalty. It's a crepe back satin. So the back side is matte and kind of has a crepe texture to it. The front is very shiny. Good for formal things like bridesmaid dresses, formal dresses, fancy royal looking things. And this one is Bridal Satin. So it's, again, kind of matte on the back, but it's very smooth. And then the front side is all shiny and satiny. This is a gorgeous plummy color. We called it Mixed Berry. You can see it's just pretty fancy, and it's made for making pretty fancy things. This one's just a slinky, sheer, very fluid drape fabric. This is a synthetic, great for swishy things, so blouses, dresses, skirts, that kind of thing. Also excellent for costuming. Here is a super dramatic jacquard, very moody floral, quite fluid. It is a polyester. I suspect there may be maybe some rayon in this, but it feels really nice. It does not feel crunchy or plasticky. Really pretty drape on it. Again, just kind of a moody dark floral. Dresses, blouses, skirts. All right, this is a very dramatic metallic fabric. I don't know if it's picking it up in the light, but I'm gonna put this one here because we have a piece that's already cut off. So you can see it's pretty stiff. It's got a lot of body to it. Really good for things like a fitted bodice, corset, vest, things that are very tailored would be nice for this because it's stiff and sturdy. If you make something like a skirt or a jacket out of it, it's gonna be poofy. It's gonna have a lot of body and poof to it. So you can do some very dramatic royal looking things with this one. And it is a metallic, so it's not the softest thing. Metallics tend to be a little bit rough, so you'll want to line it if you're going to wear it for any period of time. For costumes, it doesn't matter as much. This is a fun one. We called it Mad Hatter. It's kind of a off-kilter checkerboard pattern. Really fluid synthetic fabric here. Great for costuming. You could do skirts, jackets, essentially any piece of a tailored ensemble like slacks, skirt, vest, jacket, all those things. Or, you know, something loose and flowy. It's kind of good for all kinds of stuff. That is a very vague statement. Let me try that again. I got nothing. Okay, next I have a stack of 3 kind of velvety little friends. They're all a little bit different and good for different things. First up is a Rayon Velvet. So it's more fluid. Rayon just tends to be really fluid. So you can see, even though this is kind of a medium to heavier weight fabric, it's very floaty and fluid. This one's called Sable. Then we have a cotton velvet called Black Cat, and this one is a little stiffer. And hard to catch, like a cat. Okay. Still not super stiff. It's still fairly fluid, but not as fluid as the rayon. This is cotton, so it's going to breathe and be really nice to wear. Our next fuzzy fabric is called Great Hall, and it is a flocked twill. So this is kind of like a denim. It is synthetic though. And then on top of it, there's kind of this fluffy, velvety flocking. It's just little bits of fluff that are glued onto the fabric in this really pretty kind of floral, old-timey wallpaper sort of pattern. Don't mind our lint. It comes free with every order. Anyway, very pretty, very dramatic fabric. So excellent for something like a hobble skirt or something kind of Morticia Adams-esque. It's got a bit of a gothic vibe to it. If you want a leather look without having to sew or actually wear leather, this might be your thing. It is a faux leather finish on just a regular polyester fabric. So it's kind of a medium weight fabric. It's going to be super easy to sew, but it looks like leather. So it's a nice fake. Great for costuming, or if you just, you know, want to look like you're wearing leather every day. Some of us need that in our lives. I need overalls in my life. They make me feel productive. Also, they make me feel like I'm 5, so it's a weird contradiction. Okay, we have a couple of purple wool crepes. Probably wool blend, but they're sort of a lighter to medium weight wool. Crepe woven, so there's kind of a crepey texture to them. They do have amazing drape. They're not very big pieces, so this one's only 2 1/4 yards. It's a slightly more royal blue kind of color. It's called Grape Lolly. Very nice. Good for slacks and skirts and kind of fall things. This one's a little more plummy in tone, less blue, and it's called Sour Grapes. And you can see somebody cut some out of the edge here, but we did not count that in the yardage. So if you're the first person to buy this, we will start measuring where the fabric is completely intact. But again, it's a crepe, pretty fluid, same kind of lighter medium weight fabric. Good for skirts, especially skirts, or like a wide leg trouser would be really nice. Our last two fabrics are knits. So they're pretty different. This is a cotton rayon. It's actually modal rayon. It's just a different process to make it, but rayon makes things very fluid. So I have to find the edge. Here we go. This is just that light, very breathable jersey t-shirt material. You can see it's super fluid. It's gonna feel really nice to wear. It is pretty sheer, so makes just a nice drapey t-shirt, or long sleeve t-shirt would be really nice. Or if you need like a lightweight cardigan for like movie theaters or offices that are just way too cold, there you go. Also just a scarf, all kinds of fun things you can do with a lightweight jersey. This knit is called Deep Space, and it's an acrylic kind of sweater knit with some metallic silver. So here is the stretch. Not a ton, hardly any in the vertical, and really not a whole lot in the horizontal either. It is knit, so it's very drapey and slinky. Again, good for things like cardigans. Really, cardigan would be your best bet. Although with it being a sweater knit, you could just make a pullover sweater and it'd be really cute. Kind of festive, kind of fun. And that is our final fabric for the month. Happy sewing!